Hello everyone, and welcome back to another one of my Addison's disease web videos. Now this one is titled Lifestyle and Addison's. So basically I'm going to explain to you how you can tell when your Addison's disease is becoming a little bit more apparent and when you need to wean off and take some time and rest and heal yourself back up. And in doing so, I will explain a few situations and telling you how they affect me and how I know when I push myself just a little bit too far and I need to call it a day and sit down and rest. And to also tell you that even though you do have Addison's disease, you can do a lot more than you think you may possibly be able to. Because sometimes when you get Addison's disease and you're near death and you're very sick and you come back up and you realize, oh God, I can't work certain hours, I can't do things like I used to, do still have confidence in yourself that when it comes down to it, you can still do what you really need to do. But the biggest thing in being able to get the best out of your body and for you to feel the best and to be able to get stuff done when it needs to get done and when stuff goes down to be able to handle it well is to take care of yourself and know your limits. Don't let anybody push you past your limits. Don't let anybody try to tell you, oh, well, you could do a little bit more, you could do this, or I think you're being a little lazy. No. Know your limits. But at the same time, don't ever use your Addison's disease as an excuse to not get up and live your life and do stuff a little bit more. Now, when I say know your limits is don't push yourself to the point where you need to stress dose all the time when you could possibly take a couple things off your plate. Like, let's say you work, you have kids, and you possibly volunteer somewhere. While you enjoy volunteering, you may want to give that up. Or, so that way you can spend a little bit more time with your children. Or if you just got a lot of stuff on your plate that you're trying to handle and do, like maybe you're saying yes to a bunch of wedding invitations, on top of trying to work, on top of maybe you have a sick relative that you got to deal with too, maybe you could drop a couple of those wedding invitations or try to balance out what priorities you can put in front of the other. And definitely always get your rest. Don't ever let anybody interrupt your sleep if you can help it. Now, like I said, if you got young children, sometimes you can't control if you can't get sleep. They kind of control your sleep a little bit. If they wake up in the middle of the night sick, or if they need you because there's a thunderstorm, sometimes you can't control it. I even face that with my cat. And she's a cat. She'll scratch at my door. She'll try to knock things over. She'll just be a pain in the butt at night. It's like, no, I want my blinds down. Too bad you can't look out the window. You can't tear them up. I have the same stuff and I got a cat and I lose sleep. I lose hours of sleep because of my cat. So I know sometimes you can't always control it. But the one thing is, I know a lot of people who like to abuse their bodies and push them farther, and it's like, no. To me, it's quality of life over the fact that, sometimes with Addison's disease, it's better if you say no and you sleep and you feel better for it. Because if you notice you push yourself too much, you'll start getting shaky, you'll get diarrhea, nausea, you'll start getting dark under the eyes, your skin will start getting a little darker. And to where to look for the darkening of your skin if you know you're pushed yourself too far, the palms of your hands, the lines will get darker, and the creases will get darker. Like I said, under your eyes, you'll look lethargic, you'll feel kind of tired, and sometimes you gotta stop doing something when you're like, really, I gotta call it a day? And I'll explain to you that. I went out to do some yard work. We moved into a new house. Mind you, if you get Addison's disease and you don't have to move in like you're 3, 4, 5, whatever years into having your Addison's and you're like, oh God, I gotta move. How's my body gonna react to a move? If needed, stress dose to get through, but I really suggest don't stress dose right away. Sometimes it's good for your body to kind of get pushed a little bit every now and then, because we moved into this house, as you see in the background, and I cleaned this place, I painted this place. At the last minute, nobody decided to help us move but one other person. I pretty much moved my whole bedroom except for furniture. I moved boxes, I unpacked, I did so much stuff, and I really impressed myself because I didn't think I had it in me to be cleaning and moving and doing all that I did. I really surprised myself, and I got through it without needing a stress dose because I didn't try to take on anything else at the same time. I limited it. Like, okay, the house needs clean. The house when we moved in here was filthy. It's like people don't know how to clean. So I had to clean and scour tubs and showers, clean out drawers, clean out closets. This place was filthy. And I had to paint, but what we did is me and my mother came in the house because my father had to work. We came in and I put a limit. We said, okay, because we had the evenings we had to come in and do it. I said, okay, we come in about 4 and we stay no later than, let's say, 6:30, 7 at the latest. Limit the hours. And when I did that, it made it so that any other time that I wasn't working on the house, because we knew we were moving for a while, so I pre-packed a lot of stuff to make it easier on me, so it wasn't just pack everything, clean, paint, go, 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 you know, there wasn't a moment to rest. We said, okay, I'm not going to stay here any later. I think it was 7 o'clock. I'm like, okay, we're not going to stay here any later than 7 o'clock. We're just cutting it off. I'll bust my butt, and then after that, I'll come home, get something to eat, get to bed, and when I get up the next day, I'll get up, I'll rest, I'll chill, and then I'll go and bust my butt again to clean. And when it came time to move, we moved. Did I actually request off work for moving? I don't know if I think I did, because it made it easier for me to not have to worry about working and moving. I think I did have to request off to, I don't know, did I? Or did we move? No, I'm pretty sure I had to request off for moving. Yes, I did. I requested off to move, so that way I didn't have to worry about working on top of moving. I could just move and then, you know, rest a couple days and just get back to work and get back to the flow of life. So with this new, I was surprised myself that I was able to do and work and clean with all my health issues, and I got through it without stress dosing because I rested and took care of myself. And with this new house, we have a big yard, big beautiful yard, but the people who lived here before didn't they didn't prune and trim the trees like they should have, so everything was kind of an overgrown mess. So I said, well, we need to get out there. I went out there, I was hacking branches and ripping dead branches out of trees and cleaning, because there's all kinds of stuff in that. They didn't love this backyard. There's like glass and all kinds of stupid stuff. I was back there cleaning up stuff. It's fall when I'm doing it, so there's leaves in my way too. I'm back there tearing branches up, doing all kinds of things, and about the 3.5 hour marker, I had to call it quits because my Addison's disease started presenting itself. I started getting sick, even though I physically felt like, you know, when you get out there sometimes and you start doing stuff with Addison's, you don't realize how sick you're getting. You're getting out there and you're like, oh, I'm still doing good. I could go a little farther. And then you have someone else, like my mother came out and looked and said, you're looking kind of like you need to call it a day. And I'm like, really? And I think I went about another hour. And I'm laughing because it's only 3.5 hours. Most people could be out there doing yard work all day and be fine. And so I was like, well, I did start feeling peaked, and truthfully, we got part of the yard that still needs it, but it's not important because we don't have no plans for that area. So I was like, well, I could kind of call it a day, and then, you know, I pretty much then I did something stupid. My dad set the rake wrong and I whacked myself in the face, and that definitely was alright, we're done today. You know, when you're doing something you get hurt like that, it's like, alright, calling it a day. But with Addison's disease, I share these stories because your Addison's disease, whether you like it or not, will present itself, and you will have to call it a day sooner than you may want to. And with the yard work, I did have to stress dose because I hit my face right here. Luckily, my glasses protected me from hitting my temple because I hit my face pretty good. And one thing I will suggest with Addison's disease, anytime you hit yourself, ice it immediately. It might kind of hurt to ice it immediately, but do it because that speeds the healing and keeps the bruising to a minimal with the Addison's. But I did stress dose that day because if I hadn't hit my face, I probably wouldn't have, even though I was dark under the eyes, feeling really shaky and just adrenal fatigued and sick, like I might want to consider it. But if I hadn't whacked my face, I wouldn't have took the stress dosing. I say that because, okay, I went out and did the yard work and that's enough on my body, but once I got injured, my body is now becoming compromised and it needed that help. The same with if I was moving and I would have really injured myself, like dropped something on my foot or hit my head or done something, I would have stress dosed then too because my body would have been like, okay, too much, can't handle this. You know, it's like when somebody's telling you to file paperwork and they keep stacking paper on your desk and you're like, I can't even see you anymore. That's what it gets like for your body. And even if it is at like the 3-hour marker of doing yard work, or even if it's the 1-hour marker of doing yard work with mowing the lawn on a hot sunny day and your body's sweating and becoming more fatigued easier and dehydrated, you have to stop and take care of yourself. Because what it comes down to is quality of life. Do you want to push yourself all the time and feel like crap all the time? Or do you want to step back and say no to a few things and feel better and have a healthier quality to your life? That's what it really comes down to with lifestyle and Addisons, is how do you want to feel all the time? Do you want to say no to a few things and feel healthy? Or do you want to say yes to everything and do everything on a 50% level because you're half there because you feel like crap? So that's really truthfully your choice. And that's really my suggestions I can give to you with lifestyle and Addisons. So the next video, if you've been watching all this, is the final video. It is the closing notes. Definitely check out the closing notes. And, you know, I will see you in the closing notes pretty much. So, see you then.